Hi Juniper, this is Dr. Bose giving you some video feedback in reference to the attached PDF that you'll see in your feedback column for project number 1 grade. So this is a really good start. You do have a clear organizational structure, but even there though, I think there are some organizational issues that could use some work. To address just a few things, headings need work. I think you use a title slide, or I'm sorry, a title heading at the beginning. You do have some secondary headings throughout, which actually does help a little bit in terms of reading. But beyond that, though, I did notice that there is like some clutter, so it's a little bit difficult at times to read. You do need to make sure to do a proofread to make sure that what you're reading makes sense to the users. Sometimes there's a switch between being too wordy to almost not giving enough information. Oftentimes there were steps, for example, this one over here before we start number 3, where about 2 or 3 directives and then explanations are provided. So you want to make sure to break everything down. You want to use spacing very carefully. This whole document is double spaced. But then there were like double spaces, if that makes sense, between like sections going into the actual instruction. So that's actually something that needs to be worked on. You don't need to be constricted to or restricted to using only double space throughout the whole thing. Okay, and a lot of people in class made some really good sets of instructions that you might want to kind of go through as you are working on project number 2. So as I said, annotated visuals are not always easy to understand and use. If you can read my highlights a little bit, you'll see that red means needs a lot of work, yellow needs some improvements needed, and green means good to go. So there weren't so many, for example, grammar mechanical stylistic errors that would have made the meaning of the text incomprehensible, but there were some to kind of, again, make it not always appropriate in a technical writing context. Visuals do need proofing. I did notice there was like some overlapping over text, like that arrow over there, those arrows over here. And then over here you have like some a blue box sitting over, or a purple box sitting over the text. In the reflection, and I'm just referring to the reflective document, I want you to continue working towards reiterating course outcomes in your own words and giving very specific examples. And you may think back to English 101 or 102. We used PI, which stands for point, interest, explanation. And you'll want to make sure that all of your paragraphs in a memo follow this particular structure. Okay, that's not always the case. There's a lot of glossing over in the writing, and I'm really kind of focusing in on those course outcomes, Juniper, because you are actually going to have to create a final course reflection at the end of this course in which you go back to those course outcomes and really kind of break them apart. So while we're still early in the course, I'd like you to consider that. I've already mentioned a lot of these things, so I guess the only other thing then I'll leave you with is make sure to continue working. I enjoy the work that you've included in the class so far, and let me know if you have any questions. Thanks for listening.